Okay, we're going to do more systems of equations, two unknown. So far, we've done the graphing method, done the substitution method. Today, we're going to do what's called the elimination method. Elimination, we want to eliminate one of our variables. In substitution, we did that by taking an equation and putting it into the other. But we're going to eliminate by doing addition or subtraction. So what we're going to first do is see, do we have any variables that are basically the opposite? Same number, but opposite signs. These are not the same number, but these, do they have the same number? They don't have a number, but what is that number? 1. So if we were to add them, what would positive 1 and negative 1 be? 0. So we eliminated our y's, didn't we? This first one, we're going to write it down, but the next one, we're going to not worry about it because we don't actually need that. So what then is 5 plus 3? We have 8x minus 0y plus 0y, whatever you'll say. 12 plus 4 is 16. So we could, like I said, we want to eventually, we're going to rewrite it from here to here. We're going to skip that step, but I'll be showing you. Could we now solve that for x? Divide by 8, x equals 2. So we have our x value. We can then put it in either equation. It doesn't matter. I'm probably going to choose this one just for the fact that y is positive. It'll make it a little bit easier. Save us one step. So in place of x, we're going to put 2. 3 times 2 is 6. We want y, so we're going to subtract 6. Y equals 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. So our point would then be 2, negative 2. So again, on all of these, we could have done this by substitution. We could have solved for y. Then we could have graphed it. There's going to be 3 ways we can do every single one of these problems. Are any of them wrong? No, it's whichever way you see, because some people are going to see to do it a different way than others, and that is perfectly acceptable. For some, it all depends on what you see first. And one time you'll see it one way, and another you'll see it a different way, and that's okay. Okay, this one, we have 6c plus 7d equals negative 15. 6 minus 2d equals 12. So none of them are the same number in opposite signs, but we do have 2 that are both 6c. How could we take the second equation and combine it with the first one to get rid of 6c? How could we get 0 c's using these 2 numbers? Not by adding them, but by subtracting them. So if we subtract, 6c minus 6c would be 0. So if we're going to subtract, though, I'm going to write it out here. If we subtract, we have to change every sign. Okay, because we're basically multiplying by a negative. So if we subtract, change all of the signs. So we changed all 3 of them to the opposite. Now, 6c minus 6c gives us 0. 7d plus 2d is 9d. Negative 15 and negative 12, they're the same signs that we add. Negative 27. Divide by 9, d equals negative 3. Now again, we go back to either equation. I'm just going to come up with this top one. Again, it doesn't matter. So we get 6c. Here we get negative 21. Add 21. Positive 21, negative 15 is positive 6. 6c equals 6. Divided by 6. C equals 1. Okay, so this one, it's not xy, but you could, if you want, write it as a point, but since they're not xy, go ahead and just put both of them together, circle around it, or square around it, either way. Okay, so let's take another one like that. All right, so we have 4s minus 5t equals 7. 2s minus 5t equals 3. So we have two numbers that are the same coefficient, but they're the same sign. So if they're the same sign, we need to subtract. So if we subtract, what do we have to do before we can work it? Change all the signs. Very good. So that one becomes a negative, positive, negative. So now 4s minus 2s. 2s, 5t minus 5t cancels, eliminates. That's what we want. 7 minus 3 is 4. Divide by 2. So s equals 2. Now, in either equation, does not matter which. 4 times 2 minus 5t equals 7. 8 minus 5t equals 7. Correct. Yep. So we subtract 8. Negative 5t equals negative what? So we divide by negative 5. T equals, negative by negative is positive, 1/5. So we could then write them together since it's not xy. Remember, if it's xy, it's most beneficial to write it like that. So today you're looking for the numbers that have the same coefficient. If the signs are opposite, add them. If they're different, you're going to subtract, which means change all three signs. Okay. All right, on 427.28. One to 17 odd. On Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do the next part of this same method, but we're going to spend 2 days on it, so we've got it nice in hand before we move on.